Hello everybody, welcome to Prime Movers Podcast, where today I'm here with a very special guest, Derek Shenton from Melbourne Beach, Florida, who's a professional skimboarder. He's been pro skimboarder since he was 16 years old. He's now 27.
Yes, sir.
He's from Melbourne Beach, as I said, Florida. Moved out west to California from 2015 to 2018 to compete on the World Skimboarding Tour, which is also called the United Skim Tour. Finished sixth in the world in 2016. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the story. Mr. Derek Shenton, welcome to Prime Movers, buddy. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
How long you been pro skimboarding for? How long you been skimboarding in general?
So I'm 27 now. I started when I was about 10. I was surfing since I was like 7, 8, and I just picked up a skimboard when I was around 12 or about 10, and I liked it better. And it came more naturally to me, and ended up going professional at the age of 16.
Wow.
So it's been quite a journey.
Oh yeah. Did you, when you started skimboarding, obviously more just of a hobby?
Yeah.
And then you went into competing?
Yeah, I didn't even know of skimboarding competitions when I first started, actually. I just kind of was just doing it for fun, down at the local beach access that I lived at. And, after a couple years passed, Skim City out of Indiana, Florida, was a skimboarding shop that, they did just for fun competitions in Melbourne. And I did a few, and I did really well.
Yeah.
And there ended up being a tour later down the road called the Skim USA Tour, which is, you get a lot of people from the East Coast, a lot of people from the West Coast that do the competitions together. And
merge up and
compete. Exactly. Nice. And I ended up doing that at, 12. I just worked my way up, and by the age of 16, I was skimming in professional, which was crazy.
That's epic, man. Well done.
Yeah.
So, and you've had quite a bit of success in it. You've got sponsors that have followed from your success?
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah.
It's every year, you lose some, you gain some, you lose some, you gain some, but it's, I have a few.
What's, what interests me is, because I've surfed my whole life, really, and in skimboarding, I've tried it a few times, man. I'm not any good. I'm not like anything near yourself, I want to say. But like, with the difference, because I know surfboards are similar, how they manufacture or construct surfboards are similar to what they do with skimboards. So you've got, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got a foam core with a fiberglass shell.
Yes, that is correct.
That's shaped, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much shaped, the same way you'd shape a surfboard nowadays.
Yeah.
Some companies are starting to put Kevlar in them to make them a little stronger, know, so.
No stringer, which in surfboards you have a wood stringer down the middle of the board for reinforcement, not in skimboards?
No.
Nah.
But other than that, they're pretty much the same, shaping a surfboard.
What's if you get a good run, I've seen when you chuck it in and you jump on, and you can pretty much ride a wave. From that initial exertion of jumping on the board into the surf.
Yeah, it's depending on the conditions, man. Yeah, you can definitely. That's the main goal. You want to go out and you want to slide out, get that wave, come back in, and get a good ride.
Yeah.
But
what's your favorite maneuvers? So what's your favorite maneuver to do?
So definitely getting wrapped to barrels, like definitely sliding out to like a big wave and like getting a barrel coming out. It's like awesome. But like trick wise, like 5 shove it, 540 shove it, 360 shove it, big spins, bigger spins,
Crazy.
People are doing that out to waves now and wrapping waves and coming back in, which is really good for competition points. That's what you want to do in competitions. But
Jeez, wow. So you moved to California because you're from Melbourne Beach in Florida. It's just south of here where we're at, New Smyrna. And lived out there for a few years and competed on the world tour. Skimboarding.
I really wanted to go out there. I wanted to live that California lifestyle. I wanted to see some new stuff. I wanted to ride some different waves, because there's not always waves out here,
Nah, it's tough.
Most of the time there's always waves out there, so it's like I moved out there for those waves and just a new atmosphere. It was nice. I miss it.
Yeah. Where were you living out there?
I was living in a place called Laguna Niguel, which is kind of the mainland of Laguna Beach, California.
Yeah.
It's a really nice place to live. I had a lot of fun out there.
So I did some time out there when I was younger, but it was further south in Carlsbad, Oceanside, San Diego.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful.
Down
I love
the
it
road.
out there. It's great place.
Oh yeah.
But, what do you look for when your ideal setup for skimboarding? What would you look for? What kind of wave? Obviously, like a shore break.
Yeah, definitely a shore break. Hopefully, it's some glassy waves. Out west, you get siders, which is a wave that comes in, breaks off of a rock. kind of goes
Okay.
like this. You catch the sider, which connects like almost an A-framing peak like wedge.
Right.
And we don't have that over here,
No,
so
no,
that's
no.
nice out there. And like more over here, like East Coast, you get the liners, you get the
Yeah.
front side liners, you get the back side liners. And every once in a while, when we get a swell, we get some wraps. But-
Yeah. What's a liner? What do you mean by that for people that don't know skimboarding?
So
it's like a straight wave.
yeah,
coming
a
straight onto
straight
the beach?
wave is a wrap.
Okay.
Like straight wave's a wrap.
Okay.
A liner's more of like a side wave that comes in. You know,
Okay.
you can like get on it. It's kind of more of a ride than like kind of just like
chip shot.
Yeah,
Kind of
like
deal.
you kind of get a few like
Yeah.
3 or 4 second ride in, and then maybe do some tricks out the back or out
Sweet.
coming in.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Laguna there, I know that I've seen a lot of footage because I mean, it's interesting to me to talk to you about skimboarding. It's obviously interesting to watch it.
Yeah.
Pretty radical. But I know California is like the Mecca kind of deal. I've seen a lot. And then the wedge, that wave in Newport, is it? Custom made? Where,
it's in Newport Beach,
Yeah.
yes.
That wave I've never got to surf, but it's this carnage of a wave. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
comes
it's-
like a side wedge coming into this huge wave that grows and breaks almost right on the sand, huh?
yeah, it's
Breaks people in half.
It's a scary wave when it's big for
Yeah.
sure. You know, it's
And have
definitely.
you skimboarded on that?
I have. I've definitely caught it very good. When it's very
Wow.
good, it's usually very crowded.
Crowded, yeah.
You gotta watch out for the spongers. But it is a really fun wave. You know,
Yeah.
I like it when it's like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
When it's at anything like 6, 7, 8, it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, no shit, man. It looks crazy, and it just looks like it's on, like it just turns like it has steroids on, and just jumps from like 1 foot to 20-foot faces.
Yeah, it's
Right
it's
on the
really
sand.
shallow out there too. So
Yeah. People get hurt there, huh?
yeah, people definitely get hurt.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like a man-made jetty, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That
It's-
goes out.
Yeah, it's a long jetty. You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
fish on it and stuff. It goes out pretty far because you got that you got that little whatchamacallit right there.
The inlet there. The,
Yeah, the little inlet right
that
there.
comes into Newport, right?
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
it's-
And yeah, it looks rad, man. That wave.
yeah, it's fun. There's a whole like wedge
get
itself
there.
is awesome right there, and you got other spots that like where they have the skimboarding competition,
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Is like right down the road, right there at a place called Balboa Pier.
Yep.
And it breaks really good right there too.
Funny, man. I watched some. What's the one guy that's the long blonde-haired fella, Brian? What's that guy's name? He's like top pro over there, California. He surfs for Catch Surf.
Oh, Blair?
Blair
Blair
Conklin.
Conklin. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Brian Blair Conklin. Yeah,
he is
he's pretty impressive.
He is really good at skimboarding.
Yeah.
He's really good at surfing.
Yeah.
He's definitely a,
Yeah, I watched some of his footage and stuff. It looked pretty wild. But
Yeah.
But yeah, when you were competing, so who do you compete against? Who are the guys that your main competition around?
I mean,
tour?
Blair's definitely
Blair?
on tour with me. You know, you definitely got to skim against Blair.
Yeah.
There's so many people now that
Really?
are on tour that are just so good. It's, being on tour, being on the skimboarding tour is so hard nowadays. You know, there's so much competition. There's so many good pros.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blair's definitely one of them.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. What is it like? So, I mean, around Florida here, what would you say your go-to place is to go skimboarding? Would it be maybe Sebastian Inlet down south?
Sebastian Inlet is
Here?
my backyard, pretty
Yeah.
much.
So you grew up there?
When it's good, like when the waves are good, Sebastian Inlet that's where we go.
The spot.
You know, there's north side and there's south side Sebastian Inlet.
Yeah.
Either one depends. You know, you do a bridge check.
Yeah.
And I guess north side's been kind of the spot lately.
Has it?
So usually back in the day it was like south side for a while. North side kind of fell off. Now
Yeah.
like north side's getting the more like A-framey peaks.
Oh, it is.
Got a few siders there. I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
We're just wedges off
Yeah.
the jetty,
Front
refracts.
there.
Huh?
It goes off the jetty, which is I'm regular footed.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a front side for me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's north side's starting to come back.
Is skimboarding, you see guys that can do switch stance, like both,
Mm-hmm.
like, have skateboarding, they can switch just as good as they can normal.
Yeah.
Normal stance, regular. So, like, is that pretty common in skimboarding, or?
Yeah, a
Little bit?
A lot of people there's a lot of switch rides, that people try to
Yeah.
do. Switch is very difficult.
Yeah.
The only time I really ever do switch is like if I'm in a heat or something, and
Yeah.
I maybe do a switch to get like a nice ride in or something. Because
Yeah.
you score higher when you go switch, but switch is tough.
Yeah. Well, now in a competing, how the scoring set up with competing? Like, what are they scoring on? What is the score? The scale, is it 0 to 100? What is it? 0 to 10?
It's like surfing now. It's 0 to 10.
0 to 10.
You know, definitely completion of ride is get you scored higher. Technical maneuvers out to the wave, come back in, scores really well. It's like, you know, anywhere from like a 2.5, 3.5, 3, like all the way to 10. You know, that's what they score on. We do like this new like judging thing now where it's like everything's on the computer now. It's not like no longer scorecards or anything how they used to run it. It was like a score sheet, and you know, it's like the color of your jersey, blue, white, black. You know, now it's all on the computer and it's like typed in and everything. Just so you know what you got in your heat while your heat's going now.
So
it's like
you're calling it out, so you know where you're at, what you need to advance and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what do you got? 4 guys that go out at once, and they have a session that's a heat.
Yeah. So usually, like, say like when the contest starts, and it's just like it's the first heats. You usually got like 4 mans, 3 mans, and then as it goes on and on, it's like man on man heats.
Okay, cool.
So it's like you know anywhere about it's a quarterfinals, semifinals, it's man on man.
Yeah.
And then till you get to the final, if you make it to the final, it's man on man.
Yeah.
It used to be 4 people in a final, 1 through 4 are skimming in the final.
Right.
Back in the day. Now it's, you know, all man on man, which is nice. It's good. I like that better.
Yeah,
so.
it's a bit more. And then, how many runs or waves or what attempts do you get that are scored?
It depends how many waves you run for. Like you can run for 12.
Is there a limit?
It's usually like it's about 7 to 10 waves a person runs for in a heat.
So every one of those is just adds into a total. And if you get the higher total than the other guy you're versing, then you're going to take the win.
I'm pretty sure for amateurs it's top 5 waves they get scored on. For pros it's top 3.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, so say you ran for 11 waves, you got a 6, an 8.5, and a 5.5. That adds up. You add those 3 scores up, and if the other person, you know, gets higher scores, and you know that's how they advance.
Yeah.
Advance you. So.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And I imagine if, say you guys tied, which would be interesting, they probably take your high score. If it's above the other person, that would go into you winning probably out of those 3
Yeah, I
scores,
think what
possibly?
I think so. I think what they do is say you tie, right, with somebody, they pick your next highest score, and I think for the other person too, and they add that up.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they do.
I'm just thinking of surfing competitions where they go, well, if you get a tie with somebody and similar thing, they take whoever had the highest score out of the 2 cumulative scores, and they go and they become the winner usually. Okay. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Do you surf at all?
Yeah, I do surf. I just bought a new board. I'm stoked on it.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I got a 6'1" Mayhem.
Ooh, nice.
Epoxy.
Top shaper, that guy.
I'm stoked on it. Yeah, I haven't had a new surfboard in so long. It was time to get a new one. So.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked on it. I've only rode it a few times.
Yeah.
But I'm just waiting for a nice swell to come through where I can ride it and really feel it out.
How often are you skimboarding?
Like so, like nowadays, like not like pretty much only on the weekends, because you know I work a 9 to 5 job now.
What do you do for work?
I'm a plumber.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
cool,
I'm a plumber, dude.
Nice.
So, if I get off at a decent hour and the waves are good at work, I'll go out and skim. But usually I save it for the weekends now.
You know, it depends on totally depends on the waves, though, don't it? Mother Nature. Yeah. With it similar to surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you can't just roll up and it's like a tennis court. It's going to be the same every time. Yeah. Yeah, and then you're subject to like the tides, and I'd imagine most of the time it's more of a high tide deal.
Yeah, high tide definitely.
Yeah, because you got to have that shore break.
The only time when low tide where it's like really good for low tide is out west. Like here, no, like there's some spots out in like California where it's better for a low tide, you know, not just a high tide, you know. So which is weird for us because on the East Coast everything really has to be a high tide for us to have really good skimboarding waves. Yeah, can't really catch anything when it's lower tide because it's just too far out.
It's too far and flat. Yeah, you got to have it pretty close to shore. Is there any competitions internationally you know that go on? Or
they actually put Spain on the. Oh, nice. They put Spain on the tour this year, which is cool.
You gonna be going?
I want to. That'd be sweet to go to Spain.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Spain would be dope. France has one every once in a while. Portugal has one. Okay. Mexico. Cabo San Lucas is actually next month.
I was gonna say, have you done that one before?
Yeah, I've done Cabo a few times. Cool. Cabo is a really fun contest. Yeah. definitely one I recommend people to go to once in their lifetime if you are a up and coming skimboarder.
That's a spot.
It's a fun contest.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
There's some good waves there too.
Oh yeah, you thought Wedge was
surfing.
Wedge is big. When that place is on, that place is scary.
Really?
Yeah, it's really scary.
I've never been fortunate enough to get down there, but been to Mexico, but not there. But
yeah, that's definitely a
insane.
fun contest.
Yeah. So then, what's a season run? Does it start like you go in January to December? Is it?
Yeah, kind of. So like Skim USA and United Skim Tour are like two different kinds of things, but they kind of like combine throughout the year.
Yeah.
So Skim USA kind of just started. We just had a contest in Vero Beach, and that was the first one for the tour this year. The next one, I believe, is the first UST contest, which is in Santa Cruz, which is in June.
Oh, Santa Cruz, California?
Yeah, Santa Cruz, California.
Cool.
That's going to be the first one.
Yeah.
And then I think it's North Carolina, Delaware. Then I think it's Spain.
Delaware, huh?
Delaware's really fun.
So you've been before to Delaware?
Oh yeah, I usually go every year. I missed it last year. I was
That'd
pretty
be cool.
bummed about that, but
yeah.
Delaware's always on tour. That is a really fun contest. And North Carolina, Delaware. I think after that Spain.
Yeah.
And then California, there's like three in California this year. There's one in Santa Cruz, there's one at Aliso Beach, which is in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Newport Beach, which is Balboa Pier. So.
And that's where I watched. I think it was at Balboa Pier where they're having like is that like the end kind of big competition where where the titles decided?
Yeah, Balboa Pier, the Oktoberfest is the last competition on tour, which they crown the champion for women's and men's. So
Gotcha.
that is, it's called Oktoberfest, but it's in September.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty early September this year. I think it's like September 17th and 18th this year.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, that's the last one.
That'd be a good party and good scene.
Yeah, just
Always
everybody goes to that competition, and you get to crown your world champ. So it's a really fun competition to be at.
You finished 6th in the world, man.
Yeah.
2016?
2016.
Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Appreciate it.
And so you've just been on a heater since.
Yeah, I took a year off, actually. I took a year off. I was injured.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dorian? The hurricane?
Yeah.
So the day after Dorian, I went down to Southside Sebastian Inlet.
Yeah.
And it was all time.
Amazing, huh?
And I ended up tearing my ACL that day.
That's no fun, huh?
That put me out for a while.
Shit. You have to have surgery?
No, so I did see a doctor, and it was either way. It's like you can get it or you don't have to get it, and I don't want to get surgery. So
you had to go without it, yeah.
Kind of didn't do anything for like 6-7 months. I just didn't do anything.
You're definitely not going and jumping on your skimboard with that.
Oh
man.
no. That put me out for a while.
Again. Yeah, for sure. What, 6 months recovery?
Yeah.
Have to rehab and physical therapy? Or
I didn't really rehab it like I should have.
Yeah.
I kind of just, at the house, didn't really do anything. Iced it a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of just like, just
get you in a downer, don't it?
Yeah, definitely. I was getting antsy to go out and get some waves, but it was for the better, I don't want to go out and then really I have to get surgery if I tear it again,
True.
So I babied it for 6-7 months.
Got to nurse it, man, and you want it to be strong when you're back.
Exactly.
You don't want to go back out and be, prematurely re-injure it. That's for sure.
But yeah, last year was the first year I competed, and since that, and I finished 9th on tour.
Oh, great!
So I was stoked about that.
Yeah.
So didn't make it to every competition. So
that's pretty good then. If you didn't do all of them too.
Yeah, I was stoked on it.
That's real good.
I had a lot of fun last year. I haven't competed in like over a year, so I had a lot of fun.
So you're competing full time this year?
I'm gonna try to make with my job that I have now. I'm definitely gonna try to make as many contests as I can. So.
Yeah, it's tough full time work and then trying to shoot around the country for the events on the weekend, huh?
It's definitely not easy to tell my boss. Yeah, I'm gonna be missing this day.
Yeah.
But
right here we got a poster of you. Exile.
Sorry about that. Yes,
skimboards.
That was for the last competition.
Yeah.
We made those.
That's you right here in the top left corner.
Yeah.
Top right if you're looking in the camera.
That shot was taken at Sebastian Inlet.
Yeah, that's rad. It looks like a good day.
Yeah, it was a really good day.
Yeah. What would you say your ideal size of surf you chase is? Like, I mean, the sky's the limit really? Like, because if you're going to the Wedge, you're looking at a chip-in shot of a 2-foot wave turn into 20. that you're like, one second you're on a small wedge as it is, and then you're next thing in a huge gaping barrel, like a huge wave coming over you.
I love big waves.
Yeah.
You know, I always will love big waves. It's just a whole different feeling when you wrap a wave and you get in a barrel and it's just like it's over you and you're just looking through it. It's just a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't get that on the East Coast. I've definitely had some crazy big waves on the East Coast before.
Hurricanes?
Oh yeah, most of the time hurricanes. Yeah. Definitely need a swell. But just out west, it's just a different breed out there. It's just a different wave. It's just a different level of skimboarding. It's just awesome.
You think you'll move back out there? Or do you do your time and you're back home in Florida now?
I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be cool to move back out there. It's expensive out there.
Shit, yeah, it is.
It's expensive.
It was expensive when I was there. I'm looking back like 20 years ago and I'm like, God, it's tough to live out here.
Yeah,
man.
right now, you don't want to move out there right now.
No,
you know?
Not at all.
It'd be cool to like, if I can like work out with a job where I can like live 6 months here, then like live 6 months out there.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great, just quality waves out there, man. You would know. It's like, it's just for Florida. We just got so much drive to surf, and out there it's just like you can get lazy because you know there's gonna pretty much be a good wave somewhere.
Yeah, we have to wait.
Work for it.
Sometimes we have to wait like 3 to 4 months to get a good wave in, and like by the time wave comes in, everybody's out. You know, everybody gets antsy around here for some waves. So.
I know. Have you done any? Have you gone up north of Sebastian Inlet any spots, or like there's Spanish House? That's a surf spot though.
Yeah, Spanish House.
Does that go all right for skimboarding?
Yeah, actually, it's not that bad. Don't skim there a lot, but I have, and I've had some fun sessions there. Pretty recently too. I would say maybe a month ago. We had a session. I think you were there too. Dalton was there. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
D-man.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I've surfed there when I was younger. It gets really good. Mm-hmm. But I was actually down in Sebastian a few months back for Board Riders Comp, and for skimboarding, like I think I talked to you before we started having this chat, like it kind of went away for a while because the Army Corps of Engineers changed the jetty down there, I think it was.
Okay.
A while, years back.
At Sebastian Inlet?
I think they did something to the jetty, and it was first peak, second peak, and then it changed and went to just, when I went down there recently, this is going last year, it was just a big hole. Like you'd hook some good fish, but the surfing was just, I was looking at it, man, I was like body surfing onto the sand, and it was huge, just shore break. It was epic. It was like being out, it was like crazy clear water too, because here in New Smyrna, man, the water's always kind of brackish and dirty.
Yeah, a little brown.
And then all the sediment comes out. But down there, it's just crystal clear. It was really, really good. And, really just a real good shore break. Like I was like, man, guys, skimboarding would be sick if I had a skimboard.
Yeah.
That was before I hurt my ankle and stuff, and I would have given it a shot. But now I'm kind of hesitant about it. And my skimboard looks a lot different to yours, man. Mine's like one of those you get at Toys R Us thing, you know, like you'd get once you're a Grom and you get like your first entry level type surfboard or something. That's kind of my skimboard deal. But those things it's cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Is
crazy.
that octopus traction?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got that on some of my surfboards.
I love that traction. I love the traction.
Yeah. Is that what you normally use, that traction?
Yeah, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but they stick every time. You know,
good stuff.
I love the way they feel. You know, I've been riding octopus for a little bit now.
What's Habitats?
Candy Grind Clothing, the clothing company that I ride for, they're out of Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
So you skimboard for them?
Yeah, they're like mostly snowboarding, you know, like that, but they make baggies.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who Brandon DeFilipino is? He's from New Smyrna and he rides for them.
It doesn't ring a bell, honestly.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I don't know your last name.
Yeah. If it's small town here, I'd probably run into him, I'm sure.
Yeah, he rides for him. So you got me, you got Brandon, and I think there's a couple other people that ride for him. There's a guy out in that lives by Newport Beach that rides for them.
Okay.
Awesome people. Met him at Surf Expo 2013-14 era.
Yeah.
They sponsored me like right on the spot. Like I gave them like a little booklet of like pictures and stuff, and yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Nice.
But
and Exile Skimboards, where are they out of?
They're out of San Clemente, California.
Is that where their factory they ship out of there?
Yep.
Are they all? Another question. Are they hand shaped? Is it a machine shape and then they're finished, sanded and everything? Like
they're hand shaped. Yeah, they're hand shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on them since 2000. When I moved out to California, I got sponsored by Exile.
Yeah.
was originally riding for Zap skimboards.
I've heard of Zap.
Yeah, Zap's huge.
Cool.
I was riding for Zap probably since I was 12
Wow.
to about 16, 17.
Shoot, man, long time.
Then I got on them, and yeah,
You've been with them since.
I've been with Exile since.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Zap's probably one of the largest names in skimboarding boards.
Yeah,
huh?
Zap's huge.
Yeah.
You got Zap. You got Phase 5 too. I don't know if you've ever heard of Phase 5.
Okay.
It's like behind the boat.
Yeah,
Wake surfing and stuff. Zap does
sick.
all those boards too.
They make those. Okay. Got you.
Exile makes wake surfs now too, which is sick.
Do you go into, like, are there subtle differences? I imagine. I'm just comparing to surfing because that's what I'm familiar with. But like with surfboards, you tweak a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch here and there. It makes a difference. You can feel the difference. It's like a subtle or a large difference depending on what you're used to. But is that similar to skimboards, where like if you add an extra 1/2 inch of width or take a 1/2 inch off, are you going to notice that?
Yeah, so like this board right here, I've been riding like a medium large, like kind of like for the past like 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. And this board I just got a large.
Oh, so they go in sizes of
they
small,
go like
medium, large.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do like in between sizes too, like a medium large or like a medium small. So I've never had, this is the biggest board I've ever rode, and I like it. I gained some weight. The last board I had, I had some trouble.
Drum it anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the biggest board I ever had. I don't know how big a large is. I'm gonna say they're 53 or 53.5 inches. Yeah. But this thing's been fun,
Yeah.
There's different shapes. I've been riding a Hornet shape when I was living out west, which is the same. This is a hybrid shape.
Okay.
It's the same thing as a hybrid, just with a pintail. This is kind of more of a rounded off.
So the tails do go into the
the tails
play.
For sure.
Really? Mm-hmm. Similar to surfboard, yeah.
Hybrid's more of a round tail. Cool. The Hornet shape's a pintail.
Yeah. And you notice differences with each. The shape you get, the tail and everything, and how they maneuver and everything.
Yeah, like this one's a little wider, so wrappings. When I wrap a wave, it's a little bit more like around now.
Yeah.
Like with the pintail, it's more of like a sharp turn, like kind of shoots you in.
Yeah.
Which I like. I love both shapes. I really do. It really just depends where you're at and where you're skimming.
Gotcha. But, who do you roll with? Like, who's your crew that you skimboard with and hang with that are you got guys that other pros down that you roll with that you guys are pretty competitive?
I mean,
would you say?
Is this just me that's pro now?
Yeah.
In the area.
In Melbourne.
Yeah,
You're only pro.
I guess it's just me now, and then I roll with Dalton, this guy back here.
Okay.
I roll with Jesse, Tyler, Gavin.
And these are all guys from Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah, they're all they're all like upcoming. Like this kid's killing it now.
Yeah, he is.
Jesse's really good now. Everybody's killing it now, which is good. Like back in the day, like
got a cool, good crew.
Yeah, back in the day, I was the Grom out of the crew. You know, like I was like the youngest one. It was like me, Chuck Wright, Chaz, Joey Antonelli, Sebastian Colombe, and all these guys that were just so good. Derek Kent. A couple of them were, and they're just. As you get older, you do other things.
Now you're the guy, and then you're looking after the up and coming ones.
Yeah, so
nice, man.
I love the crew that we got going right now. All of us like to travel, and we all do competitions, which is good.
Yeah,
and Dalton do really good too. So
Dalton introduced me a couple guys from Gulf Coast of Florida. I guess it's big over there too.
Yeah, Gulf Coast is big too. Gulf Coast has a lot of riders. Which is cool because there's not that much waves over there.
Nah,
and those dudes kill it over there.
Yeah, they're good, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I know a lot of that over there from surfing over there. A lot of it's mainly shore breaks, so they probably when it is something breaking, it's probably good for skimboarding.
Yeah,
they don't have that long sand like we got here in New Smyrna or whatever, where that tide goes out and it's just long thin bit of water.
There's definitely some spots over there. Huh? There's definitely some spots. But it's every once in a while hurricane swell, something like that probably. But
when's the next comp?
I think the next one I'm doing, there's actually one in 2 weeks in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Oh, wow, okay. Panhandle.
I'm not doing that one. The next one that I'm doing is going to be North Carolina, Outer Banks.
That's epic up there.
Nags Head. It's at Nags Head Pier.
Nice.
That's a fun one. So I can't wait for that one. That one is July. Unless I go to Santa Cruz, which is in June. I'm still thinking about
going.
going.
Have you been up to Santa Cruz before?
Yeah.
I've never
last time
there.
I was there was in December.
Wow,
it was cold.
It'd be freezing.
It was cold. They did a competition there. That was 2013, 14. That was the last time I was in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I've never gotten up there. I'd love to go up surf like those breaks, like Steamer Lane, another bunch of surf breaks up there.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of cool spots.
It's cold water up there.
Oh yeah.
You'd wear wetsuits, wouldn't you? Because you're on the beach, you're starting, but you still wear wetsuits.
I don't like to wear wetsuits because it makes me a little bit more stiff. But some contests, you definitely got to put on a wetsuit. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
California contests, it takes you a few days because that water's cold out there.
Man,
the air can be 80 degrees, but that water's chilly.
Dude, damn man, that current that runs along, it's all the way up and down the coast from Alaska, wherever it comes down. That's some cold water.
Yeah, the Pacific is definitely
some dark waters and deep waters with some big sharks out there too.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some big sharks out there.
Hanging out there, man, just looking for something to eat.
Hey, but this is the shark capital of the world out back here.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks, man. And growing up here, it's see them daily now. It's wild. Like when I was younger and stuff, you know they're there and you'd see them. I don't know how much has changed, but I know that they've definitely become more abundant for sure. And I see them more often than not. Like every day I surf, 3-4 footers, running, just chasing bait fish on the inside, but they're out there.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, knock on wood, but like we haven't, had some bad bites, man. But other places in the world, you get bit, you're losing a leg or worse, or an arm, or here people have been stitched up and gone back at it. But like, it's still wild to be surfing and expecting to see a shark every time you surf.
Oh yeah.
And go down there, you know, it's
definitely a eerie feeling.
It was the world's safest bathing beach. It's turned into like shark bite capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's another story for how environmental agencies and stuff have stopped a lot of the fishing, and a lot of things go into that, where it's the population of sharks increased, which there's got to be a balance. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of sharks down there. So, but yeah, man, have you ever tried to skimboard up here much?
No, other than like the north, like where I live, like Cocoa Beach. But other than that, like as more north than that, it's like just St. Augustine, Villano Beach.
Villano, okay.
They actually have a competition every year. Steve Polari, he's awesome. He puts on this contest in Villano Beach every year. Yeah. Which is just, it's such a fun contest to be at.
I've surfed that Villano Beach, man. That's a cool spot.
Yeah. That's as far north as I skimmed in Florida.
Really?
I never skimmed up in Jacksonville or anything like that. I just never tried it out there, I guess.
Is there anything up there for it that's popular?
I know there's definitely some. I think there's surf in Jacksonville. I don't think there's any skim. Yeah. But there's definitely some surf there.
Yeah, it's like those long-winded sandbars that don't have that kind of real good shore break that you look for. Yeah. It's a shame in Florida. Here's a question for you. Is any of these rocky outcroppings where you get those little wedges off in Florida that you know of? Like, is there Vero or like Stewart Rocks and all those places?
Like more like a cider kind of?
Where you get down further south of where you're at in Melbourne, and there's a bit more rocky, Coquina Rock Beach and stuff.
Oh, okay. It's
get any outcroppings of rock where you can skim off of that?
Not really.
Much,
I feel like back in the day, like when I first started skimboarding, when I was like 11, 12. Yeah. All the beaches were more rockier back then. Like there's a lot of rocks like exposed like back in the day. Like not as much anymore. Like even in Satellite Beach is like kind of the spot where it gets like the most rocky, I feel like, but only like low tide. Yeah. And where the rocks are exposed. And just like this past like 2 or 3 years, there really hasn't been that many rocks out there. Like it's kind of weird because it used to be so rocky. You used to be able to not be able to skimboard like on some of these beaches because of the rocks. And like lately, it's just been no rocks. They've all been covered up, which is kind of weird.
It's remember when I was a kid? Yeah, there was like Patrick Air Force Base that was all coquina
hangers.
Rock, and it was you'd be seeing, like you said, low tide, just be all rock beach, really, hardly any sand. Yeah. But now, so you basically seeing it. It's a lot more sand's covered up all that rock.
Yeah, it's not exposed like it used to be. There's every once in a while, like if you take like a wave out and like you like step down, you'll feel like a little one, but like you can't really like see them anymore. Like they're not exposed. Yeah. Which is weird because back in the day they were just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Your question here: what's the history of skimboarding?
The history of skimboarding?
Do you know it back to front, or can we give us a rundown on what, like, where it started and that to where it's become now? Because it's obviously getting a lot of traction. It's very popular.
Yeah, there's actually a film that my buddy Anthony Luisi, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon. Okay. It's called The Evolution of Skimboarding.
Yeah, we'll plug it.
It runs it from the beginning to the end of like where it is, like where it was back in the day and where it is now. There's so many of us on there. We do interviews, and there's a lot of footage on there, and that pretty much gives you the background of back then and then where it is now.
Cool.
And that film came out in 2015.
Nice. Yeah. Amazon Prime, you can find that.
Amazon Prime, yeah. Cool. It's a really if you want to learn the basics and you want to learn the history of skimboarding, watch that film.
Okay.
There's a lot going on.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I didn't know there was a film out on it, so that'd be cool. I'll check it out. What about the physics with skimboarding now? Like, because you got fins on a surfboard, skimboards you got no fins.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be tough to have fins when you're jumping on it in sand because you're gonna get stuck. But what do you use for? What are you using to maneuver? I mean, because with fins are kind of keeping you in place on the surfboard on the wave, and you can use those to navigate the wave. But with a skimboard, are you using?
It's more like your rails, man. Like like when you're like say you're on a decent sized wave on a skimboard, you know, when you hit the wave and you turn back in, it's like you got to use your hips, your rails, the stall, and then you know when you get into that pocket, kind of just shoots you. Yeah. Spraying on a skimboard, rails.
Rails, all rail based, huh?
Yeah, rails. Wow. It's almost like the same as surfing, really. If you kind of like, if you have the same, like a surf style, it's like you know you hit the wave the same way you would on a surfboard, and just you just don't have any fins. It's easy to slip out, you know, obviously, but just that rail. It's just pretty much the rail movement. Yeah,
there's a guy, he's a like legend of surfing, Derek Hine, and he rides a finless board. Okay. And it's wild and just goes down the wave and just doing 360s and just all on the rail and just holding the board in place. Because I know as younger, I was riding bodyboard here and there, and the waves are bad, and it was a little shore break and stuff, and you just got to maneuver, hold on as tight as you can the rail to just maneuver in, and so you don't slide out, you know. So I imagine without fins and that acting like as a rudder or whatever, you're going to have your rails or whatever involved so that you don't slide out. Yeah. But what about that compared to, say, skimboarding compared to skateboarding?
Dude, nowadays people are doing, when it comes to riding, I don't know. It's definitely different when it comes to riding, but like the tricks now people are doing on skimboards, people are doing varial flips on skimboards.
Flip tricks and stuff.
They're doing varial flips on the way out.
Whoa, dude.
And then coming back in, which is crazy.
So that's like skateboard-esque tricks. Yeah. Going out to the wave, they're doing a varial, which is a maneuver with the board under your feet, flipping it.
Landing it, wrapping a wave and coming back in. Mental. Which is mental, yeah. It's crazy. People are doing that nowadays. And then, you know, 360 shove-its, big spins, you know, regular skateboarding tricks come and play. They definitely come and play during competitions. You want to definitely get your technical moves in before your wave ridings, or get your technical moves in and wave riding at the same time as big scores. But yeah, skateboarding tricks, you know, varials, 3 shoves, big spins, 180s, front side, back side, 360s. Wow. So
they do the big, you know, there's still airs too, like similar to surfing, airs off the lip of the wave, coming back into the beach, landing on the wave, coming back in, that stuff. Yeah. 360 airs and stuff.
360 airs, rail grabs.
Crazy stuff, yeah.
There's people do corrupt flips.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Which is pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. There's a trick called Whitley. Yeah. Where you go out the back and you go sideways with your board, and you flip and do a backflip while you're holding both side rails. Flip and backflip. You land it, It doesn't
on the wave and come back in.
You don't really get score high for it, but it looks cool.
Wild, man. What's the one if you get on, you do a carve into the barrel, and that score is pretty high, right?
Yeah, anything like when the waves are good, waves are big, wrap, barrel.
Yeah, wrap to barrel,
If you come out and do like a shove it or a 360 shove it, that's a huge score.
And that'll add to your score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's 1 to 10.
Yeah, 1 to 10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wild, man. Yeah, I was wondering about anybody doing kick flips like on a skateboard. yet trying those?
Yeah, there's a few.
You probably have to hit the wave and then flip. Like, I don't know, you couldn't really do it on like on that thin bit of water when you start on, when you chuck the board and jump and ride into the wave. Could you?
There's that one kid that's doing it like flatland. The kid that's doing like, that's doing like the vario flips out. Like he can do them. Like he'll just like throw the board down and like do it off this little wave and just land it.
Also, question is, what about skimboarding, like going on in the street after rain and stuff? Is that happening? Stuff like that going on? Around like Middle America?
Yeah. Adrian. Where's he from again? Is he from Spain?
I think so.
Or Brazil?
I have to double check.
Guy that does shit in like the streets, huh?
Yeah, this dude is just killing it with like.
What about like rad stuff like a river one side to the other, just chuck it and skim across and stuff? You can do that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things float. That one that you got, the thicker, like the one I was telling you about, is just a plank of wood. Mm-hmm. But that's got foam and it floats, and you can. That's why it's maneuverable on the wave.
Yeah, there's this kid from Europe that just. You know, he goes like these sick like little spots that have like little ledges and like water. Like, dude, he just gets on, he just throws his board down, he's 3 shove it, and he's ollie off these like little ledges where people would like skate.
Wow.
You know, and
I'll have to look him up. Man.
Yeah,
he's probably got on YouTube or something.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Shoot, there's all kinds of. As it develops, man, it's going to develop. The possibilities are endless, probably, you know?
Yeah.
And where there's some water or something.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Like they've got like standing waves in places now you never think of surfing inland and like in Europe and wherever. So anywhere there's like, it's like novelty style stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, we had one of our riders that rides for Exile Skimboards, Austin Keene.
I heard that name, huh? Somehow.
Yeah, he's blowing up.
Sounds familiar.
He goes to the Kelly Slater Surf Ranch and skims it.
Does he really?
Yeah. They let him.
Kelly Slater Surf Ranch. That's the man-made wave pool.
Yeah,
Kelly Slater's behind. Yeah.
There's a video online. He's got a YouTube channel. He's killing it.
Wow. He skimboarded on the wave.
Yeah, it like breaks sideways and he runs from the side. He monkey crawls.
Yeah.
He like monkey crawls and gets on it and he just goes. It's
wild, man.
It's awesome.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out too.
Mm-hmm. And there's another dude from Brazil called Lucas Fink who's actually done that too. He was invited there and he got to skim it, which is cool.
Man, you should try to get out there. I'd love to go check that out.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing, so
sick.
You know?
Yeah.
Waves so long and perfect. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that it's man-made.
Yeah.
Now wave pools are popping up all over.
I know there's like 3 or 4 of them now.
Yeah.
There's that one in Australia called like the Plunge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're building one in Fort Pierce, aren't they?
Man, they were talking about building one out here in New Smyrna.
Really?
And just down the road, and then that got pushed. I don't know where it's at, but it's still coming, maybe just somewhere else. But there's going to be some popping up, man. Yeah. I know there was talk of one down in West Palm area, maybe right Fort Pierce.
There's that one in Waco, Texas, which is really.
I want to go to that one. That looks cool.
Sick.
Yeah, they look really fun, man. And there's tons of different waves they're starting to make too, which is pretty cool. Yeah. There's a guy that I know of name. I don't know if you know him. I want to say he's from Florida. Brad Domke.
Yeah, I know Brad.
And he's a big wave skimboarder kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, I know Brad.
Guy's like impressive.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's from Wabasso Beach, which is
I've never met him, but I've seen a lot of his stuff. It's wild, man. He's at Big Puerto Escondido in Mexico, big wave spot.
He's
on a skimboard, huh?
He's done. So the big wave that he got was at Puerto Escondido. I believe it was back in 2014. He got that. He just
crazy.
Yeah, he just recently went out there and caught it again, pretty similar to being that big.
Wow.
And he's been to Cyclops. He's been to Chopu on his skimboard. He's been everywhere. He's been
that guy.
He did Jaws on his skimboard
man.
recently. He caught Jaws really big on his skimboard.
Got brass balls, man.
Yeah. He's an awesome dude. I love Brad. He was like, when I was growing up skimboarding, he was the person I looked up to.
Yeah, okay.
He was right down the road from where I grew up.
Wabasso, down just south of you.
So like Sebastian Inlet's
Beach.
right here,
Yeah.
Wabasso's right here, then Vero Beach is like right here. But he was in Wabasso.
Wabasso's a great wave.
Sick wave, yeah.
Yeah, I've surfed it. I've gotten lit up down there, man. Breaks so close to shore, right?
Yeah, that's a shore break. You could surf there is really good too.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, Brad's awesome. Usually when I go out to
you know him.
California, when I go out to California now, I stay at his house.
Cool, man.
When I go out for the California contest, we hang out. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's been pretty successful with it.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of attention.
He's
charging
killing
big
it.
waves.
He's killing it.
Yeah, that's a step. Was he stepping off onto the skimboard from the back of a jet ski out when he's at Puerto Escondido, getting towed in or something? Was he? He got to get towed in.
I think he got towed in at Puerto Escondido, but
he's obviously starting out where the wave is breaking. Yeah, he's not paddling out there.
He's like mastered the step-offs now.
Yeah.
He gets like, you get like a foam longboard. You know what step-offs are?
Yeah, yep.
And he's been doing that a lot more than just like regular skimboarding.
Jumping off the jet ski right onto the wave before it breaks, right? Step-off? Yeah.
He doesn't even do the jet ski.
He doesn't?
He just paddles out on his longboard, and he's got a skimboard right there.
Okay, wow. Gotcha.
Where Wedge is, like, there's a place, there's Wedge right here.
Yeah.
And then there's a break right here, which is called, I believe it's called Cylinders.
Yep.
And it's just a perfect, like, A-frame that he step-offs into, and he just gets, like, the sickest in and out. It's, like, overhead, like...
Just big cylinder style, big barrels inside the wave.
I've seen it in person. It's crazy.
Wild.
Step-offs are hard, too, because I tried it, and it's not easy.
Huh?
It's not easy. You definitely got to work your way into it.
Yeah.
But
what's the plan for you then, Derek? What do you got planned for what's in your future with skimboarding? You gonna just keep pursuing competition?
I'm probably gonna compete for probably 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah.
And see how good I do, where I'm at then. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna work, and I'm just gonna try to make some money, and maybe eventually, move out there 6 months out of the year. I want to get comfortable to the point where I can move out there 6 months out of the year,
California,
and live in Florida 6 months out of the year.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I still want to do the tour. I want to do the tour comfortably, where I can I don't have to beg my boss to get off. I just want to just go out and do it, and
work sucks, man. It's the same. Like, I'd like to be just a surf bum and surf every day, but you gotta pay the bills for your house and your lifestyle. In order to do it, you gotta work. But
it's part of growing up, though.
That is, But man, I've had a great chat with you, buddy. Where do people come to find you and check you out? You're active on social media?
Musty Duke on Instagram.
Musty Duke?
Yeah. That's pretty much usually I just do Instagram. I don't do anything else really.
Okay, Instagram.
But yeah, I'm back in Melbourne, Florida now. Skimming when I can, and
cool.
Pretty much working all the time. But yeah, you'll see me on tour. I'll be on tour this year.
Yeah,
so.
check you out. So how do you access? Because you got World Surf League for surf, and what would be where would we find your competitions on?
UnitedSkimTour.org.
UnitedSkimTour.org.
And
we'll throw a link in on this episode on the podcast so that it's accessible so people can find you.
Yeah, you got UnitedSkimTour.org, and then you got SkimUSA.org.
SkimUSA.org.
And they both have the tour dates and where it's going on and everything.
They do a live stream of the comp?
Yeah, they always do.
So you can watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
That's good. And then your Instagram name again?
Musty Duke.
Musty Duke?
Yeah.
We'll throw that in there.
All right.
And I was really happy for you to come up, take time out of your day, and have a chat.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Of course, I'm stoked to have you on, man. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Go to Prime Movers Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. And we'll be back soon with more episodes to come.